Now, I have another question with me here. Imagine giving this question to two different people. Let's say, give this question to Mr. A and you give the same question to Mr. B. Now, this is the way I think the both of them should think independently. So, the numerator of a fraction is 5 less than its denominator. If 6 is added to the numerator and 4 to the denominator, the fraction is doubled. What is the fraction? First solution. Now, Mr. A sees this question and said, okay, if the numerator of a fraction, now first, what is the fraction? The fraction is x and y, and we don't know the fraction. And he thinks to himself that the numerator of the fraction is 5 less than its denominator. Okay, so he thinks that if this is the denominator as seen in the fraction here, and we know that the numerator is 5 less than its denominator, it means if you give 5 to the numerator, it has to equal the denominator. So this is how Mr. A thinks about this first statement here. And Mr. B, on the other hand, uses the same notation of x and y and says, okay, if the numerator of a fraction is 5 less than its denominator, then removing 5 from the numerator should equal, sorry, the denominator should equal the numerator. And he thinks it in this way, that if you remove 5 from the denominator, it has to be equal to the numerator. And both of them actually are thinking independently. So we are going to solve and see if the both of them are thinking correctly. So this is an analogy. And okay, now if 6 is added to the numerator and 4 to the denominator, let's add 6 to the numerator first. Now we can see that the numerator here is x. We are adding 6 and we are adding 4 to the denominator. Now the denominator is no more y, rather it is x plus 5 plus 4. What happens? The fraction is doubled. The fraction is doubled. So Mr. B, on the other hand, says, okay, if I add 5, or rather if I add 6 to the numerator, this becomes Mr. B's numerator. New numerator, so plus 6. And he adds 4 to the denominator. The denominator is still y, so plus 4. What happens? The fraction also doubles. So this is what actually happens. So, and they solve. Here I will have x plus 6, x plus 5, or rather 5 plus this, I will have x plus 9 to become 2x over y. And for Mr. B here, I will have y plus 1 over y plus 4 is equal to 2x over y. Okay, now cross multiplying. If I cross multiply, I'll have that my, okay, y here is equal to x. Okay, so this is x plus 6, x plus 5 plus 4, which is equal to 2x, x plus 5, and for Mr. What was it called? Mr. B here, y plus 1 over y plus 4 is equal to, this x variable is y minus 5. So Mr. B will have 2 open bracket y minus 5 all over y. All right, so cross multiplying, I will have that x plus 5 multiplied by x plus 6 is equal to 2x, open bracket, x plus 5 plus 4, which is actually 9. So this 5 plus 4 is actually 9. So just, and Mr. B on the other hand here have y, open brackets, y plus 1. So he cross multiplies and he is left with 2y minus y plus 4. Now the both of them expand. I'll have x squared here plus 6x plus 5x, then 5 times 6, I have 30. Here I'll have 2x squared plus 2 times 9 becomes 18x. Okay, now we can see that from here x squared, this gives me 11x plus 30 is equal to 2x squared plus 18x. Okay, and Mr. B on the other hand is still solving, having y squared plus y is equal to 2y multiplied by y, giving 2y squared, while this will be 10 or negative 10 multiplied, okay, same 2y multiplied by 4 will be plus 8y, while 10 multiplied by y will be negative, rather it's negative 10 multiplied by y will be negative 10y, and 10 multiplied by 4 will be negative 40. Okay, the both of them are at this stage still solving independently, and we can see that from here, if Mr. A solves further, he will have that x squared, or rather 2x squared minus x squared plus 18x, bringing this one above the equality sign, minus 11x, then minus 30, all equal to 0. Then Mr. B, on the other hand, has 2y squared, bringing this one above the equality sign, minus y squared. This, resolving this will be minus 2y, and bringing this above the equality sign, which is plus y, becomes negative y, negative 40, all equal to 0 also. Now, coming back to Mr. A, 2x squared minus x squared leaves Mr. A with x squared, then plus 18x minus 11x will give him plus 7x minus 30. And Mr. A here have a quadratic equation, while Mr. B on the other hand is left with y squared minus, this will be negative 3y minus 40. Also is left with a quadratic. So the both of them factorize, and what we have here is 10x minus 3x minus 30. We factorize, and here what it has is y squared minus 8y plus 5y minus 40 equal to 0. So this gives me this, and 10x minus 3x also gives me 7x. So factorizing, Mr. A has x plus 10 here, and negative 3x plus 10 also being equal to 0. While for Mr. B here, he has y minus 8, and here he has plus 5y minus 8, all equal to 0. So Mr. A here is left with y minus 3 or rather x minus 3 and x plus 10 all equal to 0. Mr. B is left with y plus 5, y minus 8 all equal to 0. So here, Mr. A we have x minus 3 equal to 0, x plus 10 equal to 0, leaving him with x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 10, while Mr. B here will be left with y plus 5 equal to 0 or y minus 8 equal to 0, leaving him with y equal to negative 5 and y equal to 8. So this is what the both of them got independently. Now we can see that now we are going to neglect the negative root and go with the positive root. Okay, now imputing 3 into the equation here, this is equation 1 for Mr. A. He has that, okay, now we have 3 plus 5. So he got his y to be 8. Just by just getting x and imputing it into his idea of the first statement here, y becomes 8. While Mr. B, on the other hand, gets his y by calculating and imputes it into his first idea here, and he gets the same answer as Mr. A for x, which is 8 minus 5 equal to 3. Now, both of them solve independently different ideas, but as long as they follow the same mathematical principle, their answer lead them to the same, x being equal to 3 and y being equal to 8. So Mr. B got his fraction to be 3 over 8. Same with Mr. A getting his fraction to be 3 over 8. And the both of them are correct using different ideas.